I've just been reminded that today is beginning of World Autism Acceptance Week. Sorry, I'm rather, yeah, not keen on these sorts of things. Um, what does that mean? Does it make a difference? Does anyone care? I've had a look around on the internet, and a number of autistic people in various autism organisations are kind of excited about it. And the theme apparently this year is colour. So, all right. But I'm very sceptical about these things because what actually happens in real life? I'm autistic, says my family. I work with lots of autistic people. I've been doing training for a very, very good organisation that works with youngsters, including autistic youngsters and others. And they're very interested and very appreciated the training I did. And I think it was worthwhile because it's their organisation's remit to care, and I think they genuinely do. But I've had a look at some organisations planning it. I had a look at the NAS website. Oh, fundraising. Okay, fine. They want to raise money for their organisations. Fine. How many autistic people I meet this week will actually know it's World Autism Acceptance Week? How many real people are ever going to notice a difference? I would suggest none. No one I worked with today mentioned it. I don't think I'm going to notice anything. I don't think next time, well, I don't know, not next time, but this evening I went up to Aldi to buy some shopping. No one mentioned it. In fact, it was full of people living their lives, getting on perfectly reasonably, doing their thing, which was absolutely fine. Spoke to a really nice guy at the checkout. He was fine doing his job. By the way, my autism radar went off. I don't know if he knows he is or not, but, it's cool. Doing okay. And actually, this man reminded me, most autistic people do not know that they're autistic. They just know they're different, and they've lived a life that's very different all their lives, and there's many things they don't quite understand. I work with such people a lot, and they often do understand it better. By the way, when I'm working with them, I don't use the A word. They don't want to use it either. They just want to know how they function and what they do. And I've noticed this. What's the point exactly? How will it make anyone's life better? There's all sorts of things going on in this world that need sorting, and all sorts of good people going around getting it pretty much right. And I've just been talking to my neighbour as well this afternoon when I got him from work. He doesn't know it's Autism Acceptance Week. He's a builder. I don't think he's autistic. Probably dyslexic, like a lot of builders are. We had a nice chat about stuff. Talked a bit of cars. A bit of that. Autism Acceptance Week. And to be honest, I don't care about Autism Acceptance Week. In fact, I might even say I go even further. I don't even like it. This is the sort of thing that go on in autism groups, and it's sort of the thing that's important in echo chambers. But what actually impacts real lives? Well, love? Would that be a good one? Or perhaps as Martin Luther King says in his I Have a Dream speech. I've actually downloaded a copy of that. It's on the Library of Congress, has it? I've downloaded it. And that famous words he says, that little black children, little white children can play together based, I can't remember all his words, but anyway, but the whole thing based on the content of their character, not the colour of their skin. That's a pretty good way of wanting people to get on with each other. Just decency, love, respect, that kind of thing. And anyone can do that with Autism Acceptance Week or not. Now, I do remember, I don't know if it's still happening, but I can remember in my previous jobs, April the 2nd was all something like International Autism Day or something. At the time, I was actually running an autism service. How much do you think me or anyone using the service cared? No one. In fact, one manager I had at the time asked me, are you doing anything for it? I said, no. Why? We're not just autistic today, we're autistic 365 days a year. One more, a leap year. And at the time, I was being maltreated at work by, I won't say into details, but what was going on, there's bullying going on. Did the person bullying me care about April the 2nd and autism? No, they didn't. All the good people were just decent anyway, and they still didn't bother with April the 2nd and autism, the International Autism Day or whatever thing was being hyped up either. And this is what I do in my work. I don't go for the hype. I deal with what really happens in real life, what can reasonably be expected, what actually works, how people succeed, how they find happiness, how they get on. I work with any number of people who want to figure out how to live a life. And even if most of them, don't even want to mention the A word. We just talk about people like us who think the way we do and learn the way we do and concentrate the way we do. Have got the sensing that we have and how we want to get on with people and how we want to deal. And those things actually matter. And those things I'm very, very keen on dealing with. I had a word with my wife. Again, like I said, it's autistic. Autism Acceptance Week. She tossed her head back, laughed and said a word that I'm not going to repeat on a public video. And she works in the field of autism too. And no one she works with is mentioning it either. And there's a much better way of getting on. That's, I think, as Martin Luther King said, weigh each other up on the content of each other's character and get on. It's okay. And before I finish, I mean, I do a lot of work in a lot of places, and some of my work, I've got this form that follows me around. It's called a reasonable adjustments form for autism work. And doesn't mean a lot, really. And I was talking to some people I work with. I said, to be honest, what I far more care about, I mean, yes, there are some bits and pieces that matter. But on the whole, it's you guys are decent, I'm decent, we'll get on and we're going to work together. And it's okay. If it's all really nice and human and decent, then yeah, fine. Happy with that. There is one I think I can't deal with that much. Maybe it's a bad sensory environment, but I actually find a lot of people I work with who aren't autistic find that irritating too. We'll get on and deal with that. And I'm also, this is another thing I must mention quickly. Somebody asked me many, many years ago, what will you do if autism becomes less popular than it is now? I'm thinking, has it been popular? I don't think so. It's a thing. People are interested in it. I work in it. Of course, I'm very interested and, yeah, very involved, but less popular or whatever. And they said, are you always autistic? Yeah, yep, 24/7. Based that conversation on the title of my book, I Dream in Autism, based on that. I'm always, yes, even in my dreams, yes, it's always there. It never goes away. But what an odd thing to do. And I've noticed a lot of organisations are using Autism Acceptance Week to further the interest of an organisation, not autistic people. Further the interest of humans, autistic or not. If that goes on, it's the stuff of life 24/7 all year round. What's the point of making a week out of the thing? Well, frankly, I'd want to disassociate entirely from it. I will do what's useful like I did today. I'm going to work with more autistic people tomorrow. We will do what's useful. I will do the same thing on Wednesday. We will do what's useful. I'm going to repeat again on Thursday. We will do what is useful. On Friday, I'm going for a bicycle ride. I'll probably go and see my mother. Saturday, jobs around the house, blah, 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 get on, see things, talk to the neighbours, do stuff, blah, blah, blah. Sunday, go to church, worship, have a lunch, go to sleep, and get ready for next week, and so on and so forth. Autism Acceptance Week now. I'd just rather do what's right any day of the week, any time, any year. Any time of the year. That's simple. Why does it need things like this? I've never seen, in my 38 years working in the field, I've never seen this sort of a thing advance the cause of autism or anything else. It's just something that some people in campaigning organisations get excited about and further something, I don't know. But on the whole, nobody notices outside of that small group of people. Anyway, coming up to 10 minutes, that's about long enough. There's my thing for tonight, and I wish you a good night, and see you later sometime. Oh, by the way, if ever you want to ask anything about autism, do pop something in the chat or just get in touch or ask me to cover anything to do with autism. I do the whole rounds, really. get in touch and see what's what. Anyway, we've just gone over 10 minutes. Time to finish, and thank you. See you later.